Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back. Super spontaneous stream. It is. I was just driving home with my wife today, and we were listening to this album. I was like, you know what, I need to do a live stream and on this album. And she really liked this album, so I thought, well, you know what? Why don't we bring you on my channel for your birthday? Not my birthday, it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Hayley.
Yeah, happy birthday, Hayley. Yeah, have an internet debut.
Yeah.
Please say hello to my wife, Mrs. Hayley Clay. How's it going?
Hello. All right.
Speak up.
Okay. Hello.
You just twatted Rover in the face.
Sorry.
Poor dog. So for those unfamiliar with these streams, this is a listening party. What we are going to be doing here is we are going to be listening to a record. We're going to listen to Ozzy Osbourne's seventh album, I believe. Seventh album. Let me double check that. Yeah, seventh solo album, Ozzmosis, which is my personal favourite Ozzy Osbourne album. Probably your favourite, but I don't think you know them as well as I do.
I definitely don't know them that well.
So I'm really excited to talk about that. And yeah, we'll make fun of Hayley because it's her birthday.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks. So glad I agreed to do this now.
I know. I'm thinking of doing... I'm thinking of telling you what your birthday present is midstream.
No, it needs to be a surprise.
I mean, it will be a surprise if
No, it won't.
I tell you about it midstream.
No.
Okay,
No,
so dogs are
thank
down. So before I do the usual, the routine of talking about the album, a little conversation with the wife, of course, let's do the usual thank yous and all of that. So big thank you to supporters. So you can do it. Why don't you say thank you?
So thank you to who?
Thank you
Do I need to name them all individually?
I don't need to read them individually.
Okay. Thank you to everyone on this list.
Why don't you pick a favourite name on there?
Manny Ruiz.
I mean, Manny's the first one on there.
I know,
You've
but I
met
like...
Manny.
I have met Manny, haven't I?
Yeah.
Richard Henry.
Richard Henry's a good guy.
Yeah.
Irish guy.
Oh, there we go.
Nice guy.
I felt
nice
that.
Guy. He'll probably tune into the stream. He tends to be on a lot of these streams. So
there's a refriend there. why don't you say that name out loud?
Sean's
what?
online. Sean Bob. Hello, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Thank you very much to my supporters over on Patreon. You know, obviously everybody is going through a crazy time right now with this whole coronavirus, COVID-19 thing, and a lot of my friends are losing out on income because their tours are being cancelled and all of that stuff. I am planning on doing a video, not like being smug, but like to try and help guys and give them a bit of advice on how they might be able to make some money over the coming summer. I think live streams are a great way to do that. I think... if your fans were going to spend a bunch of money on you to come and see you live, why not hang out with them live like I'm doing now and have them support you that way? Like it is still a good way to make money. So obviously I can do what I do because of my support over on Patreon. So thank you very much. I love you guys. It means a lot. If you don't want to support me over on Patreon, you can also head on over to Amazon and have a look for one of my books. She'll tell you they're really good, aren't they? Which one's your favourite?
They're fantastic. The one with the pink guitar on the front.
Oh, that was my first one, Country Guitar for Beginners. That's hanging on the wall over there, not the book, the guitar. So head on over to Amazon, have a look for Levi Clay, and you will find one of my books. My latest one, this is probably really offensive. Oh no, it's going to cover my face, isn't it?
That's better.
Point to it. There you go, 100 slide licks for blues guitar. So please do check that out. Right, so who is online? Let's say hello to some people. Sergeant Rock, hello. Muzzy Muzz, hello. -7 sharp 5, you've still got that name. You need to change that. When are you planning on doing other kinds of streams? I want to interact again. I do. So obviously I've been doing a lot of streams recently, these listening parties. I've really enjoyed these. These have been a lot of fun. But it's not that I'm not doing all of my other usual streams. I'm still doing all of my study club streams for Patreon guys. I'm still doing my monthly live streams and all of that stuff. I wasn't doing streams outside of those before. So this is just additional stuff rather than in place of the other stuff. My monthly transcription streams are always the last Friday of the month. We're transcribing, well, you're in the Patreon group now, aren't you? So you'll know. We are transcribing some Joshua Stefan this month. I say Joshua Stefan, it's mainly Borelli La Reine. See how I did the French there?
Very good.
La Reine. Borelli La Reine. You say it.
But you can't say Bob.
I can't, no.
No.
How's the sound? Can everybody hear us okay? Oh, that was some lump.
Yeah.
I don't think that's hot chocolate.
Disgusting. I don't know what you've done.
I think there was something in the pan.
He's made us hot chocolates that's 99% bits and 1% hot chocolate.
And it's annoying because it's really tasty hot chocolate too,
You've
isn't
just
it?
ruined it.
Happy birthday!
Thanks very much.
Osmosis, excellent choice. Yeah, so this is my favourite Ozzy album, definitely. Thank you very much, Drew. Appreciate you tuning in. Blackwater Threat, this is definitely Ozzy's best album, definitely. And I know these albums inside out. Let me rephrase. It's not Ozzy's best album, but it's definitely my favourite Ozzy album. Hello, Hans. Hello, Cristiano, and hello, Benjamin. How's it going? How is it going? So, anything you want to bring up before we listen to this album?
Not really.
Not really. So
I don't think you want me to talk about my music taste.
I do. Tell them all about your music taste. I mean, they know. We make fun of it all the time.
Well, just solely Sum 41.
Mainly Sum 41.
Yeah. Do you like a bit of Hollywood Undead? I don't know why I'm embarrassed about this.
Yeah, you should.
I was never embarrassed about this before.
Before you met me.
Yeah, I've learned to be ashamed of my music taste.
I think that's just part and parcel of being around me. To make myself feel better, I make everyone else feel ashamed.
Yeah,
that's the routine.
and you hate everyone. I like Volbeat. I really like Volbeat.
I hate
you
Volbeat.
hate them.
I absolutely hate Volbeat. Yeah,
I love them.
I'm trying to think if there's any music that you love that I do like. Well, there's obviously examples. Like you like Nickelback, and
yeah, I like Nickelback.
obviously I like
Nickelback.
Nickelback.
Sevenfold.
I like City of Evil.
Yeah, I like that album.
I like City of Evil. I could have done a listening party listening to that.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the lumps out of it.
And eat them?
Oh, they're delicious.
Animal. Disgusting.
So yeah, you do have a terrible taste in music, but terrible taste in men too. So
yeah, so it all adds up.
right, let me do the usual routine. So for anyone that is new and fresh to one of these streams, obviously for copyright reasons, I'm not going to be playing Ozzy's music over the air for you to listen to. Okay, that's not how this works. We are going to be listening to the album in our headphones, and we'll talk about it while we're listening to it. I would love it if you guys listened along and checked out the album with us, and get involved in that comment section. Post, listen to it, tell us the bits you like, tell us the bits you don't like, all of that good stuff, because you guys really make these streams. So if you would like to join us on that, there is a link in the description, and you can load the album up on Spotify or whatever your streaming app of choice is. Get the album queued up, ready to listen to. Get ready, listen to it. You're going to love it. It's great. Hans, Rio, no, Steve Vai doesn't play on this album, but he wrote a song on this album. But I actually think he did play on this album, but it's claimed that Zakk Wylde re-recorded Steve Vai's parts. I don't believe it, but apparently that's the case. Let's keep reading these comments. Always found this album to be very underrated among Ozzy fans. Unusual to hear it called a favourite. Nice one, Levi. Great taste as always. Yeah, this is definitely my favourite Ozzy album. Definitely. No doubt in my mind. This is definitely my favourite Ozzy album. So, Tam, some glamour at last.
What's that about me? Oh, thanks very much. Thanks, Tam.
You went very Scottish there.
No, yeah.
Tam is a Scottish.
Tam Mac. I mean, come on.
Yeah, fair enough. Osmosis, Justice 100. So yeah, comment on Steve Vai. I mentioned that. No way is Osmosis better than Blizzard or Diary. What are you, nuts? No, I'm. How would I put it? I'm objective. I can justify why I think this album is better than Blizzard. I can justify why I think this album is better than Diary of a Madman. It might not be. Let me rephrase that. It might not be better than Diary of a Madman. Diary might still be number one, but this is still my favourite album because it has my favourite songs on it. So it might not be as consistently good as Diary, but this is a great album. And we had some comments on it earlier where people were calling it an underrated album. It really is an underrated album. It really is an underrated album. I saw Paul's comment where he said he's never listened to this entire album, only heard the singles. Honestly, man, I don't know what the singles were. We'll find that out in a second, but there are some seriously good songs on this. I don't know who Taj Farron is, Craig. Sorry. Robert Baker's online. How's it going, man? The stream is there for you to watch, of course. But what do you think, Robert, of this album? What do you think of Osmosis? I'm not expecting an instant response. I just saw Sue commenting. So.
I know. I did happy when I seen Sue.
Yeah. I imagine
Thanks,
that's probably
Sue.
how she feels when you pop up on her streams.
And yeah, I don't comment things too often on her streams.
You text her.
Yeah, I do. I don't know how YouTube works.
Yeah. So, Sue Hulk's online. For anyone unfamiliar with Sue Hulk, Sue Hulk has the most wholesome channel on YouTube. Lots of baking stuff on there. And I make some guest appearances on it from time to time. So go and subscribe to Sue.
She's a wee soul.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. She's like, me and Hayley fight over whose best pal she is.
She's my best pal.
She's my best pal.
So I'm sure Sue can clear this up.
Yeah, Sue, if you could put this to bed once and for all, that would be appreciated.
Oh, like Lauren Bell.
Zach is menacing on this album. Yeah, I agree with that. Is there a video for Little Man? I mean, if you're saying there is, there must be the case. But he may well be in the video, but he certainly went on record to say his parts were re-recorded. Zach said that he'd re-recorded the parts. It just doesn't sound like Zach, but we'll get to that part. Benjamin says he's currently trying to write and record my school music composition before the possible school closure in Scotland. To me, that seems like a reason to not worry so much about it. You're probably not going to have to hand it in.
Well, if he wants a qualification, he might.
True. And work hard in school, kids. I worked hard in school. If you work hard in school, you can go out and find a successful wife like me and just mooch off her success.
Didn't do well in school.
Okay, so Sue says happy birthday to
Yes! Haley is my best pal. Sorry, Levi. Yes.
All of my friends abandoned me. It's terrible.
I know.
Thanks, Sue. Appreciate that. Yes, Hayley will be getting all of the super chats for this stream. They will be going towards her birthday present tomorrow. I don't want to tell her what it is on stream, but I really do want to tell her what it is on stream. Sue knows what it is, though.
No, don't tell me, Sue. Sue wouldn't tell me.
Baking videos, hands. So Sue's making brownies. We should come and get some brownies from Sue tomorrow.
Brownies. Sue makes the best brownies.
Oh, okay. 10 years. So Craig says that what was the name of that? It was Taj someone or other, wasn't it? Taj Farrant. Okay, I'll have to check him out. Next Bonamassa. Sorry, kid, this is not Ozzy's best album. Not even close. It absolutely is, Boomer. Hi, Lauren Bell. How's it going? Robert Baker is the man. Robert Baker is the man. So Robert says this is the album that is foreshadowing where Zach's style was headed. I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Gyro Lamb says he likes every song on here. Actually, it's highly underrated or at least overlooked, and I agree with that. So, Levi, you can have Marcus as a best pal. I mean, I could have Marcus as a best pal, but he's like never around.
He's went on a wee man date.
He is one of my best pals.
Yeah. He's had a lovely wee
dinner. I just don't see him all that often.
Well,
I try and see him every Tuesday, but
you're easier to take in small doses.
That is true. So is Marcus.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, right, let me read the wiki page for Osmosis and then we'll listen to the album. So again, if you are just tuning into this stream, it's the first time you've seen one of my listening party streams, please do head on over to the link in the description, load the album up, and when we come to listen to it, we can all listen to it together. Do you want to read it?
No, thank you. I don't have my glasses on.
Okay. Osmosis is the 7th solo album by English heavy metal musician Ozzy Osbourne, recorded in Paris and New York with producer Michael Beanhorn. It was released on the 23rd of October 1995, so this would have been Ozzy's first album that was released after you were born. Yep. By Epic Records. The album reached number 22 on the UK Albums Chart and number 4 on the US Billboard 200. Perry Mason, See You on the Other Side, and I Just Want You were released as singles. So they're good songs. Paul mentioned he's only listened to the singles. Those aren't the best songs. There is a better song on the album, and I promise you there is a better song in the album. After the release of his 6th album, No More Tears, Osbourne announced that he would retire from music. In 1991, Ozzy Osbourne announced he was going to retire from music. Yeah. He just released an album this year. Retire from music. He returned with Ozzmosis in 1995, which featured longtime guitarist Zakk Wylde, as well as former Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler, drummer Dean Castronovo, and keyboardist Rick Wakeman. The release received mixed reviews from critics. Totally understand why, but they're wrong. Ozzmosis was one of many Osbourne albums remastered and reissued in 2002. This was the only Ozzy album that reissued, the 2002 reissues, that I didn't own when I was younger. I owned the original version of this. The reissue features a bonus tracks, Whole World's Falling Down and Amy. So I've not heard those albums. Originally released as B-sides to Perry Mason and See You on the Other Side, respectively. The album has been certified double platinum, sold over 3 million copies. So, looking at the recording and production section, it was recorded in Paris. I'm just seeing if there's anything particularly interesting in there. Writing credits on the album, alongside Osbourne and Zakk Wylde and bassist Geezer Butler, was shared by John Purdell, Jim Vallance, Mark Hudson, Steve Dudas, Lemmy Kilmister, Dwayne Barron, and Steve Vai. So, obviously, the notable ones on there would be Lemmy of Motorhead. You're a Lemmy, right? Motorhead fan?
Don't know.
Don't know. And Steve Vai. Steve Vai fan? No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Well, you say that. You like him in Whitesnake when he played on...
I don't like... You've made me listen to some of his stuff, and I'm sure it was kind of like a bit much.
Bit pretentious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Ozzmosis was Ozzy's first and only album to feature Geezer Butler, drummer Dean Castronovo, and keyboardist Rick Wakeman.
Is that his real name?
Who?
Geezer Butler.
Geezer Butler, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Black Sabbath bass player.
Geezer Butler.
Geezer Butler, yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, I say that's his real name. I could actually be wrong on that. He probably wasn't born Geezer.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born Geezer Butler. He's all right. It was Terence.
Is he from London?
Birmingham.
Okay.
So Terence Butler.
Okay, that makes more sense than Geezer.
Geezer. All right. Right. So yeah, first album to feature those guys. Guitars were by his longtime bandmate Zakk Wylde, although Steve Vai was originally slated to perform on the album. Incredibly glad he didn't. After writing songs with Osbourne in 1994, of which only My Little Man remained. Vai reportedly left the project due to a falling out with Osbourne, although Wylde maintains that they are still friends. Yeah, there's definitely talk about them and their relationship just recently because Ozzy made some comments about Steve being a bit pretentious, and Steve kind of fired back in the press, kind of downplaying the things that Ozzy had said. I think Ozzy's just trying to promote his new album. Anyway, prior to Beanhorn's involvement, Ozzmosis was to be produced by Michael, Wagner? Yep. Who'd mixed the preceding No More Tears. Songs were recorded with Wagner, a different lineup, including Mike Inez, who of course was on the No More Tears lineup but didn't play on the album, and drummer Randy Castillo, who is I have to say I think the few albums that he played on with Ozzy, his drumming was pretty poor. With the intention of making the album sound similar to No More Tears, pre-production with that lineup happened at Granny's house. We should go there. In New York in early '94 after the No More Tour tour. However, with 7 songs completed, Epic Records allegedly requested a change in production style and replaced Wagner with Beanhorn. And that, this album sounds very different to No More Tears. Of Wagner's produced material, Perry Mason, See You on the Other Side, Tomorrow, and Old LA Tonight were re-recorded. Amy and Living with the Enemy were released as B-side. Slow Burn remained unreleased. I'm talking a load of bollocks here. None of this really matters to me. Promotion and release, nothing interesting in there. So let's talk about the reception for this album. Its commercial reception charted at number 22 on the UK album charts, 5 places lower than its predecessor No More Tears, 3 places lower than its successor Down to Earth. It was more successful in the United States, reaching number 4 on the Billboard 200, the highest position achieved by Osbourne on the chart at the time. Album also reached top 10 in Finland and Sweden, top 30 in Germany, New Zealand and Norway. Let's talk about critical reception though. So Ozzmosis received mostly mixed reviews from critics. Writing for music website AllMusic, Stephen Thomas Elwine criticised the album for its lack of evolution from previous releases. So I'm immediately going to say that's a ridiculous notion. If you want to give this album a semi-legitimate criticism, it would be that it's too different from Ozzy's usual sound. It's grungier, I would say. And those albums are rock. So, I totally disagree with that. There is a huge musical evolution. Whether or not you like the direction is up for debate. So it goes on to say, despite praising the still impressive skills of Zakk Wylde, again, it sounds like he hasn't listened to the album, because there's a couple of good guitar moments on this, but largely Zakk doesn't really shine on this album. He doesn't show off on this album, nowhere near as much as on No More Tears. So he condemned the modern rock conscious production style of producer Michael Beanhorn. Cool. So I think that's all that's worth mentioning. The other thing that's worth mentioning actually with this album is Zakk Wylde recorded it, but then he left the band after the album was recorded and he didn't tour the album at all. Joe Holmes stepped in to record to tour with the album, and fair enough. I think it's a shame because I like to watch songs from this era, but I want to see Zakk playing these songs because they're his songs. But that's not a thing. He went off to do, I assume, Pride and Glory. Was this 96? So that would be Pride and Glory. Let's find this information. When did Pride and Glory come out? Pride and Glory was 94, so that's just before this, and Sonic Breeze 99. When was Book of Shadows? So this would have been when he went off to do Book of Shadows. So fair enough. Pride and Glory is definitely better than Book of Shadows. You like Black Label Society, don't you?
Why are you still drinking that? Oh, Levi, that's disgusting.
That was really.
Sue's watching this.
That was really bitty. That wasn't spew.
It doesn't matter.
I was just about to say Sue's not watching this anymore, but she apparently is. Anyway, let's read some comments. So JP Love from Sweden. Dean is an amazing drummer and singer. Dean is an amazing drummer and singer. I saw him play with Journey and he was excellent. So far the bonus tracks have not been very good. I agree. Good evening, Nick. How's it going? There you go. Sue found out. Terence Michael Joseph Butler.
I'm reading Sue's next comment as well.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Steve I was in Whitesnake. Yeah, he was in Whitesnake for one album. He plays guitar on the album Slip of the Tongue, which is my favourite Whitesnake album. All because Steve I said the first Sabbath album was out of tune. Yeah. Or allegedly. I don't believe Steve I would have said that. Henrik Viking, how's it going, man? Justice 100, saw Black Sabbath's Goodbye concert in Birmingham in the late 90s. Yeah. Levi, it's all good and well, but would you rather drink 2 litres of piss or 2 litres of sweat? That is, I don't think that was Sue. I think that's Marcus.
That does sound more like Marcus,
That sounds
but
like
doesn't
something
he
that
hate
Marcus-
those kind of would you rather questions?
Yeah, but I think he'd love to put me in an awkward position where I was having to do one, and that doesn't offend me. 2 litres of piss or 2 litres of sweat. I would probably go for 2 litres of sweat, I think.
I don't know, babe.
Well, because they're both going to be horribly salty.
You really like salt, though. I don't think... Is pea salty? I've never drank it.
Pea salty.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sue Hulk, you and Dank are both ladies.
That is true. Hello, Ian. Right. Cool. So we've got 37 people online watching. Please say happy birthday to my wife. She's turning 28 years young tomorrow.
Yeah. Still younger than him, though.
You always will be.
Not 30 yet.
It's coming. It's terrible.
Well.
Absolutely awful. Right, let's see if we've got anything on Facebook. Any comments on Facebook? Again, giving you guys an opportunity, please go, same question to Hayley. Please go into the comment section below, grab yourself a link to this album. We're going to hit play on it in the next couple of minutes.
I need more information. Is it who's piss and who's sweat?
I
need to know that first.
That's important.
Yeah, I think that's really important to answer that question.
Okay, I'll ask you a question on that one.
Okay.
Assuming they were from the same person, would that impact it?
Depends on who that person is. Is it just a random person? I don't know their diet. I don't know if they have any STIs.
Sue's sweat or Sue's piss?
Now, I know Sue drinks a lot of cola, but I don't think she drinks that much water. So I would say sweat.
Okay.
Because it's probably just going to taste like sugar, all the cola she drinks.
Okay. Fair enough. There you go, getting some happy birthdays in, which is nice.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Sean on Facebook says happy birthday, which is again nice of him.
Sean.
Right.
Anyone you want. Lovely. Thanks. I get to choose. Well, that makes it much better.
Yeah. So who's the best person that you could drink?
Also, who would you pick? I mean, this is definitely Marcus. Who would you pick?
Actually, it's not Marcus, because if it was Marcus would
he'd
use his own channel to do this.
Lauren Bell. She's vegan. She eats super healthy. She drinks hundreds of water. So I'm pretty sure hers would be the most
enjoyable.
Least pleasant.
The most least pleasant.
The most. No, what am I trying to say?
Well, I know
the least worst.
The least worst.
Yeah.
The least offensive. Let's go with that.
Fizzy water and Coke, yeah, but I don't know.
Okay, right. I'm going to cue this album up. So, last warning, guys. I'm just going to do this so you can see it. This is the album on Spotify. Perry Mason, I Just Want You, Ghost Behind My Eyes, Thunder Underground, See You on the Other Side, Tomorrow, Denial, My Little Man, Mr. Jekyll Doesn't Hide, Old LA Tonight. And then we've got the bonus tracks, Whole World's Falling Down and Amy. I don't know these songs at all. I can honestly tell you that every single one of these songs is good. Every single one of these songs is good. So, yeah, I think you should enjoy. Satan's Piss versus Jesus' Sweat.
I was brought up Catholic, so it's going to have to be Jesus' sweat for me.
And plus, as you were raised Catholic, you're used to consuming his blood.
Yeah, I drink his blood
and
anyway,
his flesh.
so yeah, no big deal.
We should do that one more time. Right, so the album is queued up. I'm going to give you a countdown, I think. Let me just see how long we've been. Yeah, I'll give you a countdown. So in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Cheesy keyboard, right?
You're not allowed to sing.
We sing this in the car.
I know, but I don't want you to ruin it for me.
I want you to make it for me, though. I think that keyboard sound there is a bit cheesy.
I like it. It sounds like something in like a 80s film.
That's not very Zach,
film.
that guitar tone. Thank you, Sue.
I like this song.
Sue said he might be nice and turn his blood in sweat into wine for you. Probably not, seeing as he's not a person, a real person. That riff. It's super grungy, like it's super, super grungy. And what Sergeant Rock says there, I agree. In this album, Ozzy's vocals, he just pushes them.
Oh, yeah.
And immediately the drums are better than on the last couple of albums. Not crazy on the production on the guitars, to be honest. They're a little bit fuzzy on the... It's a bit of fuzz on the top of the rhythm guitars. And I always mention this with every one of Ozzy's albums. His vocals are, well, obviously the important thing, but the vocal harmonies he does, so beautiful. And in this part, you can weep on the case, Perry Mason, someone to put you in place. It's just, I just don't think those are the types of harmonies that you'd expect.
I really like it.
On a pop record. It's a great melody, great chorus. Now, of course, this was a single. There's a video for this song, and it's rubbish. Don't watch it. Because it's got Joe Holmes, the guitar player, pretending to be Zakk Wylde in it.
No.
And we like Zakk Wylde, don't we?
I do. I like his beard.
You like a beard?
Do.
I don't mind.
See this bit?
Yep.
The vocal. Well, not that one. The next bit. That bit.
Draw me an arrow.
I think that's very, like, Sum 41-y. Do you know what I mean?
Do you rate everything on a 1 to
a
Sum
scale of
41?
Sum 41,
A 1
yeah.
to 41.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to neglect how cool this guitar part is as well, because you just get so hooked into Ozzy's vocal part. But Zach's rhythm is super cool there with the slide down in the middle of that riff. Very cool. I also think that this song's probably the odd song out on the album, because this is probably closest to what you think of when you think of an Ozzy Osbourne rock song, like a metal song. All the other songs, they're a little bit more ballady, aren't they?
Mm.
This bass.
Bye, sir. You love that album, don't you?
I do. I'll do a listening party for Chinese Democracy with Mike.
Bye, sir.
The thing I would say, so Robert's right, is an awesome solo on this. But when we compare I won't talk over the solo. It's poor form. So, talking about Zach's evolution in Ozzy Osbourne's band, on No Rest for the Wicked, he's got a lot to prove. He's a young 21-year-old guitar player. He really, like, if you want to hear Zach at his best, that's where you hear him. No More Tears, after that, his playing is a lot more authoritative. He's more confident in everything he plays. He doesn't feel the need to overplay nearly as much, but there's still some shit hot guitar playing on that album. I wouldn't say that any of the guitar playing on this album is... Obviously that solo was technical, but it's not the pinnacle of what Zach does. I feel that this is Zach, a super confident Zach. I'd actually even go as far as saying if you turned around to me 10 years from now and say, we've actually found that Zach didn't play guitar on this album, I'd believe you. Because they're just not very Zach solos, but they're the right solos for the song.
So what did you say, he was 21 when he started playing with Ozzy?
21 on No Rest for the Wicked.
Well,
24, I think, on No More Tears, and then this would have been 4 years after that, so he's probably about 28 on this record.
did he still have the massive big beard and the
He
long
didn't have
hair?
a beard at all
Wow.
during this year. Have you never seen Zach Wild with Ozzy Osbourne, babe?
I don't think so.
Let me bring this up for you. He was an attractive man.
He's an attractive man now.
That's true.
Nah. He looks much better with a beard. Oh, he's in a kilt there as well.
Let's bring this up for everyone.
He looks like a wee child.
It's a wee boy. Same vocal harmonies, like lots of vocal harmonies on Ozzy's part. I just want you. This is my favourite photo shoot of Zach and Ozzy.
Why? Ozzy looks so weird. He looks so young.
I don't know. They look like father and son.
Yeah, he's got like fluffy washed hair and it's weird.
But look at the young,
yeah.
happy Zach. Look at this. This is a modelling job. Just reminding the women he has a penis. But here, playful. Ozzy wearing his sunglasses. Sunglasses totally ruined that photo.
It just looks like someone's coloured in his eyes with a biro pen.
Yeah. So we're going into this... Oh, no, not going into the bridge at this point. But, again, like... who was it? Sergeant Rock earlier said that Ozzy pushes his vocals as he does. The vocal part here is great. Harmonised. Keyboard parts are there, but they're not offensive. Would love to know what that means. I think I'll buy myself some plastic water.
Yeah.
But then the high vocal here. I used to be able to sing that, but not anymore. Super chorus to guitar. Sounds like he's underwater.
That's a wee bit.
Double tracked. But not technical. Not showing off. That's the hardest lick in the solo, and it's child's play. This isn't the best Ozzy album if you want guitar playing. This is the best Ozzy album if you want songs. Key change for the last chorus. And unlike No Rest for the Wicked, it's Ozzy actually singing all the vocal harmonies. On that album, there's this strange... I don't know who it is. There's someone singing vocal harmonies on the album that isn't Ozzy.
Does it not tell
Can't
you?
find it out. They tried to pretend it wasn't the case. Zach and Ozzy like fish and chips. We had fish and chips today.
Dad,
Went to the seaside for her birthday.
I like the seaside.
Yeah.
Wasn't very nice.
What, the seaside or
No,
the
it's
fish?
just pretty rainy.
It was, Scotland, it always rains. Definitely still not crazy on the guitar tone. Like, it's very fuzzy. I'm gonna spoil it now, Ian. We'll obviously get to Old LA tonight, but the song Tomorrow, track 6, is one of Ozzy's best songs. You love that song.
I love.
Yeah.
Okay. We skip to that one.
We can't skip to that.
Okay.
But you like these songs too.
Is that the one that I like the vocals on?
Yeah. Cinematic compared to the others, more cohesive and put together. That's a really good point. They are. The thing I love about Diary of a Madman is that the album functions really well together. Everything glues well. There's a theme that runs through it, and these I can picture these all fitting together. It's a little bit more grunge than Ozzy's previous albums, but it just works. It just works. 2 guitar parts here, left and right, but loads of chorus on them. Like, there's a theme. These all, they work. Double tracked vocals.
What does that mean?
So he's recorded the vocal part twice, but he's singing the same thing.
Okay. Why would you do that?
Thickens it up a little bit. Can you hear it if you listen to it?
Okay. Okay, no, I get you.
Yeah. Ozzy's done that a lot, and most singers try to avoid, but tend not to do that, because it's very hard to sing this exact same thing with the exact same pitch, and it sounds a little bit off, but that's his trademark sound. Push in his vocal. I haven't had coronavirus symptoms, no. Also, Pro Towel Waver, since that's not your normal name on YouTube, unless 2 people both use that same picture of Axl Rose as their avatar. Yeah, so focus on the end of that song. There goes the tells me lies, and it works, and it goes into the next verse, and it's beautiful. But then the next time you hear it, you have the same resolution, but then it moves into the bridge, and it's as a composition, it's just beautiful. It works. This album is full of songs. You like songs, not guitar playing, right?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever said, I really like the guitar playing in that.
You say that, but I caught you listening to Van Halen 2 in your car, and you were singing guitar solos.
That's only because there's no words to
I was
sing.
so turned on. That super of nasal Ozzy hum, "Suicide, I love you," as the harmony, beautiful. And that chorused guitar that I'm hearing in my left ear, assuming we've got both got headphones on the same, it's nice. Just adds a little bit of texture. And like I say, end of the chorus, rather than resolving where you thought, goes up and beautiful. So where Justice says, Justice 100 Forwin says he forgot what a kick-ass singer Ozzy is. This is why it's his best album, because his vocals are their best on this album. He has never recorded his vocals as well as he has on this album. And if you're listening to an Ozzy Osbourne album for anything other than Ozzy Osbourne, you're going in for the wrong things. No need to show off in the guitar solo. It's just a melody, right? You're used to seeing me sit around the house picking up a guitar going... Like, I don't have the musical maturity to record a solo like that on this. If I was called in to do this, I'm in my 30s now, but I'd take the opportunity. Zach's just a cool cat. He doesn't need to do that. That's okay, Dan. You're allowed to be wrong. Listen to his vocal harmony now. On Suicide of Love, you could have had it all. He'll be in your left ear. Love it. His voice, just, it's the most unique instrument. So Dan makes a really good point there, right? So he was born in 1970, so he was 11, 12, 13 to 15 when the first few albums came out. That's a totally valid point. Totally valid point. But I wasn't 13 or 14 when this album came out. I was 7 when this album came out. I didn't get this album when I came out. I listened to Ozzy's music much later on. I was much older when I listened to all of it. I listened to all of them at the same age. And years on, this is still my favourite.
Thanks, Lauren. Sweat. Better get to the gym.
She's in the gym all the time, so I can't imagine Lauren being a particularly sweaty person though in the gym. I can imagine her working out like a motherfucker, but nothing coming off her.
I don't know.
Okay, so Ghost Behind My Eyes. Good song? Like the song?
Yeah.
Really nice vocal melody. Heavy. John Williams-ish. Old LA Tonight. Everyone seems to be commenting on Old LA Tonight, and to be honest, that's the song on the album I can't remember. Who wrote the lyrics to the album? So Lemmy Kilminster wrote some of it. Let's have a look. Lemmy wrote See You on the Other Side, which is a great song.
Teddy.
Geezer Butler.
Tits.
They've all got so many different writers on them. So Zakk Wylde only has writing credit on a couple of songs on this album. One of them is Perry Mason, which is excellent, and the other one is Tomorrow, which is my favourite song on the album, and Old LA Tonight. Oh, okay, My Jackal Doesn't Hide. Oh no, Zach's got writing credit on this one too. Apparently I just can't read. He has a ton of writing credit on this album. I'm an idiot. When you hear thunder underground. It's gone. My voice just went. Sharon wrote the whole thing. Wouldn't surprise me if she told someone that at some point. I wish I could tell you all the stories of how much of an arsehole Sharon Osbourne is.
I like her.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? How?
Don't know, I just do.
I'm not crazy on the verse in this.
I don't like this one as much as the Perry Mason and Tomorrow.
But the chorus in this is good. This part I could take it or leave this. But opens up. A bit more space for Ozzy to do his thing.
Bob Daisley must have been in the doghouse with Shazza.
Yeah, so Bob Daisley is or was Ozzy's bass player for a lot of his albums.
Okay.
He was on the first 2 albums, then he was fired from the band and they removed his writing credits and that album was released and Sharon credited another bass player as having played bass on it and the other bass player didn't play bass on it. And then he came back.
Are they allowed to do that?
No, they're not. I think they got sued for it.
Okay.
And then in 2002, when they were going to re-release those albums, because she didn't want Bob Daisley to get paid for having performed them, that was when they re-recorded all of the bass and drums for those albums, which is offensive.
But what was the one that you listened to first?
The re-recordings.
Were you not really upset about that the other
I was
day?
embarrassed to find that out, yeah. I've had a lot of people making the suggestion to check out Bob Daisley's book, and I will do that. Again, you might not like the sound of this album, right? But there's so much consistency in the guitar playing on this. Those rhythm guitar parts, they're really phasey and chorusy. They've got all these effects on it, and it sounds like all these songs come from the same album.
You keep looking at me like I know what you're talking about.
True.
Thanks, Joe.
Do you feel loved?
I do.
Just you wait till tomorrow. Nice solo. Hit that flat 5, yeah. Ooh. Was that slide? I'm sure he played some slide there. So probably the weakest song on the album so far. It's Teddy doing his...
He keeps trying to get tangled up.
Loves the old asphyxie wank, doesn't he? How you sad?
Not talk about my dog like that, please. No, wee Wayne.
And people are just having to take your word for it, because to be honest, they all just see us down, looking down, reaching between your legs and saying, my dog. Oh, there he is.
My dog.
How you sad?
You're
I
really
mean, do you
getting
need to
tangled,
keep
son.
scratching my arm?
He wants you to.
Teddy, do you want to say hello?
Oh. Hey, hi. Hi.
Oh, Jesus, baby, you're currently using my iPad. It's a footstool.
So. Happy 18th, the Pro Towel waiver.
Oh, okay. Marcel. It was Marcel, wasn't it?
That's probably easier to say. Where's Marcel from? Can he drink yet? Is that a big birthday where you are?
That's a good point. Depend.
Oh, Teddy really wants you.
Turn round, put him on the floor.
Look, he really wants you. He wants
One
his
it's up.
daddy.
One is up. Over you go.
There
Go on
you
in.
go. Oh, we've got Michael as well. Hiya, son. Good boy.
Oh, Geezer Butler, bit of bass there. It's just like his little solo on the album. Tell you what, in the I was watching the Perry Mason video the other day, and he's playing Geezer Butler's playing a Vigier bass in it.
Really?
You like Vigier?
I
They sent
do.
you hoodies.
They sent me a jumper and it was dead nice of them. Well, actually, they sent you a jumper because I ripped yours, but they sent me one too.
So yeah, probably not the best song, but still fits within the theme of the album. Like, it doesn't sound out of place. He's from Glasgow.
Okay, so it is a big birthday then.
Not really. He's been drinking for 4 years.
I know, but now you can go to the pub and not have to worry about it.
So you like this song? You do like this song? I'm going to say the same thing. When you hear the guitars on this album, they fit in with everything else that's happened. Tons of chorus on them. Not a tone I'd go for myself, but like I say, that consistency of theme. The panned vocals on this.
Michael. Oh, I do like this song.
Bouncing from your ear. Hear the bounce?
Yeah. The first one sounds like it comes from here.
In the middle.
And then the next one comes from the back. That's really confusing.
So again, some of Ozzy's best vocals now.
I do like this one.
That high vocal on that is really good. I can't
You're
sing it,
ruining
but
it.
that's... You're ruining my life. See you on the other side. It's too high for me, way too high for me. Beautiful vocal harmony. So this was one of the singles. You alright, Cheeds?
Good job he's not farting anymore. Don't do that. My poor Wayne.
Have I played the Bumblefoot Vigier double note? Yeah, of course I have. Of course I have. When I hang out with Ron. I hate to say goodbye.
I like that.
This is a great song.
It's a happy song. I don't know if it is happy, but it sounds
Yeah.
happy. I don't know if the lyrics are that happy.
Oh, it's a total grieving song, isn't it?
It's a what?
A grieving song.
Yeah, but it's like an upbeat one.
Bit of Zach. A major pentatonic. I know what you mean about the Karabi Crew thing. All the rock bands were doing that at the time, though. That kind of sound. Some of those big 80s bands that were trying to survive in the 90s. And it's nice that we're 3 minutes into the song, right, and we're getting a new idea, a new musical idea. Ozzy hasn't sung this melody in the song yet. It's a new thing. I mean, is that talking about being buried with someone?
What is this? I thought it says, what is he saying there?
We'll be together, carved in stone.
Oh, I thought it said God. Like God is stone. I was
God is
confused.
stone.
Yeah.
What do I think of his newest stuff? It's a good guitar. No, it isn't. Jesus, it's terrible.
Is he slagging off Sharon?
He is, yeah. Babe Sharon's a terrible human being.
Why?
Okay, so she came out publicly like 10 years ago to admit that she had sex with Ozzy's guitarist once.
Well, we all make mistakes.
Right. It was in promotion of her book. So whether or not it actually happened is totally up for debate because the guitarist is dead. Randy Rhoads is dead. So it's not like he can defend the claim.
Well, maybe Ozzy was like,
They were best friends. No, they weren't. Ozzy was devastated
How
when
do you
this
know?
came out because he said so.
Maybe it was all just a big game to sell books.
It was, and
From both of them.
not from the dead person.
Well. Why does it say she is a, and then does this cover up the sweary words?
I think no, everybody knows. Everybody, ...
okay.
Everyone knows. It's quite a long song, 6 minutes. Actually, a lot of the songs on this are long. All of the songs are long. They're all 5-minute songs. It's quite long. What's the total length for the album, actually?
Does it not tell you at the bottom?
Well, this will give you the length of the album with the B-sides, but I'm not interested in the B-sides.
Baby.
So 56 minutes, so it's about the same length as No More Tears. I
think he's sleepy.
Just lovely melody to this song. Beautiful song. The Claybees.
Aw, my dogs. I like that.
That'll be Dylan. Tell you later. Okay, so moving on to your favourite song.
Yay.
So this is so much your favourite song that you told me to stop talking when it was on in the car.
To be fair, you do that to me all the time when there's
Fair.
a guitar solo on, though.
Fair.
So I was just insulted.
This was a
that you were
whole song,
talking
though.
through it. I thought you would understand. Oh, baby.
Same consistency of guitar tone, though. All that chorus on the guitar, like very processed, lots of effects on it.
You're going to talk through this again?
Yeah, I am. I have to, because otherwise people are literally just watching this stream and they're just watching us sit here in
I
silence.
think everyone will be alright. We're just taking some time to enjoy this song.
So this is the best song on the album, and this is one of Ozzy's best songs because of how his vocal performance on this song. You have never heard Ozzy scream quite like he does when the chorus hits on this song. I can't think of another Ozzy song where he sounds as ballsy as he does in this.
If I could sing, I would sing this.
You get the vocal harmony on it. Oh. And JCM Les Paul says, which album, Ozzy album, is your favourite tone? Well, it's definitely not this one. Although this riff here, very Zakk Wylde. My Ozzy album has my favourite tone. Probably Diary of a Madman. Or Bark at the Moon. You know, Teed? Why are you sad?
He's just sleepy.
He's had a long day.
Yeah.
So, absolutely incredible vocal on that.
Is there a video for this song?
No.
I feel like there should be.
Sergeant Rock makes a good point. There's a cohesiveness and consistency to the songs on this album that's surprising, considering the number of people behind the writing. And to me, that's what makes a good album. It's when the whole album is consistent with itself. It functions as an album rather than a collection of singles. Anyway, I won't talk over Ozzy now. Vocal harmony. So the comment we've got here about auto-tune, it's great when it's not overused. So I think that's actually the problem with Ozzy's latest album. Ozzy can barely sing anymore. He's old.
He's old. To be soul.
Yeah, you totally understand why,
What age
right?
is he?
But like 71, I think. 72. So I can check that in a second. But the point is, like, as we talked about earlier, Ozzy's trademark with his singing is the double track vocals. It's where he gets his sound from, right? You can't really do that in an auto-tune land because you're going to have the guy sing the vocal part twice, but it needs to be auto-tuned because his vocals are so rough.
Could you not just get someone to sing it twice and then like double it up, like, or sing it once and then just like layer it?
No, because then it would just sound like the same thing.
Exact same.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And you could use auto-tune to like change it slightly.
Well, I guess you could. You could. A lot of work. Could do it though. Nice little guitar solo. You were trying to keep dog hair off of that hoodie.
Dog hair for what?
Off the hoodie.
Oh well.
So I wonder what Zach's playing on this guitar-wise, because there was a big trem bar thing there. So great solo. Slick while playing. Kirk Hammett would be jealous. Metallica's guitarist.
Okay.
That's a good solo. So he's definitely using the guitar with a trem on that. I don't know what it would have been. I guess that's the other thing that I kind of really like about this album. Like, it's not trying to live in the legacy of what came before it. It's doing its own thing. It's not more of the same. And if we go back to that critic review of the album on AllMusic, whose complaint of the album was that it doesn't show any significant evolution in Ozzy's sound. Like, what are you talking about? Teens, I'm going to have to put you down, son.
No.
Ready, son?
Hey, baby.
So there we go. Best song on the album.
Defo.
Saying that, Denial was a pretty good song too.
I can't remember that one.
My Little Man. You like My Little Man?
Do I? Can't remember that one either.
Oh, you want the Jack Osbourne song?
Oh, okay.
Same consistency of tone. Lots of respect for that. Zach's coughing. Okay, so I'll show you these guitars, Hayley. It was called the Grave Disciple, I think. Well, I'll tell you where it came from. So Bo Diddley played this.
That is so ugly.
That was Bo Diddley's guitar. So Zach he initially called it the Bo Deadly.
Like that?
No, of course not. But out of respect for that, he had one and he called it the Bo Deadly. But then he changed its name to the Grave Disciple. Maybe Graveyard Disciple, yeah.
It's awful.
It's awful.
It's horrible. That can't, like, obviously, I don't know anything about guitar, but that doesn't look like a comfortable guitar to play.
No, but it is shaped like a coffin, so... So there's a great point that Ian made here. This intro could be Soundgarden, right? The band Soundgarden. That's what this album sounds like to me. It sounds like grunge more than metal. Sounds like Soundgarden. Like Soundgarden?
I don't know.
Chris Cornell's band?
I know the name, but I don't know.
You know the song Black Hole Sun?
No, sing it for me.
No, we're listening to this. Like that vocal harmony, I love it. Oh. Too high for me. Great vocal there. Really cool riff. Good tone. Are you asking me what amp I would personally use? Pro Tel. What amp do you think I'd use, babe?
Out of what?
Out of all amps.
All of that one you forgot?
Yeah. The name's on the front of it. If you just turned around. There we go.
Is that because it's a good
amp? Oh, he's got
hang on,
he's got an octave on the guitar there. Like a Hendrix octave fuzz. Sounds cool. Let's turn it off there. Yeah, the sound is very sludgy. Very Soundgarden. He's just got a spooky voice, hasn't he?
I do like his voice.
Love it. I've never owned a JCM 800. No, can't say I have.
What's that?
It's an amp.
Okay.
I was hoping that this year was going to be the year that I spent a load of money on amps for my studio, but, you know, life keeps getting in the way.
Do you need more amps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll test. Let's find out.
Why?
Guys, do I need more amps? See what they say.
Do you use the ones? Do you use them?
Yeah. Plus, more importantly, it looks really good in the back of my videos.
Yeah, I like the one with your face on it.
So I do like that song. Now we're moving on to the next song, which is "My Little Man." So this is the one that Steve Vai wrote. It's well known that Steve Vai wrote this song with Ozzy. It's also claimed that Zach re-recorded Steve's guitar parts. I just don't believe it. Just listen to this and tell me that this sounds like Zach Wilde to you, to anybody.
Apparently you do need more amps. Really? Thanks for the support. Really? You do what you want, son.
Thanks, guys. And more guitars.
Well, you keep trying to sell your guitars, and I don't think you should. Hi, brother. You alright?
So this just doesn't sound like Zach Wilde. I just don't see if Zach was going to re-record this. I can't imagine why he would have recorded it with that sound and made it sound like Steve Vai. So of course this song was written about Jack Osbourne.
I do like this song.
Fucking beast. I looked around to try and see if there was any live videos of this song being played, and of course, no.
So not why?
Fucking listen to the guitar sound on it. It sounds like a sitar.
Okay.
The Guitar Souls album with Mike going to come out. It's really hard to get Mike to do anything, man. Sometimes I sing this to Brover
Oh, yeah?
when I'm falling asleep at night.
he's
Falling
sitting
asleep at
staring at you
night,
like
and
an
he's
tail
on my
light
arm
now.
here like this, and I'm cuddling him.
Yeah, he does get more attention than me. Hi, Bobby.
Just don't think it needed this guitar sound. It's just. I agree, Russell. The whole thing, Sergeant Rock, I just refuse to believe that Zach actually re-recorded all of this. But that's clearly Zach Wilde playing guitar.
What did they fall out with? Vi? Again?
Apparently.
Okay.
Oh.
Fall out a lot of people.
When I say
don't
they, it was probably Sharon. I don't think Ozzy's capable of falling out of anyone. I don't think he's got a malicious bone in his body. Sharon's run his life for him for 40 years.
I didn't realise everyone hated him.
No idea what's going on with Jack. So Hayley only just learnt that Jack has
Yeah.
MS. Is it MS?
I think you did say it was MS.
When I'm gone, my little man. It's looking like Jack.
I thought that was in that photo, him from The Office, in the quiet
Oh,
place.
John Krasinski.
Yeah. Hi, brother.
He was attacked outside a coffee shop in.
He was attacked.
Outside a coffee shop.
I see, son.
Everyone out there is obviously concerned about the coronavirus and how it's going to kill us all.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned that it's going to kill us all,
It's because you work from home.
but I'm genuinely terrified it's going to kill Ozzy.
Oh. I'm worried about Arnold Schwarzenegger. What? Sharon mailed her own feces to an enemy. Wow. Okay. How is that proven though?
She will have bragged about it. She will have bragged about it.
My boys. Let's see, yeah.
Only a few more songs, boys. So this is one of the heavier moments on the album. Very heavy on the bass there.
Sit.
Mate, you are so fucking ugly.
No. My Wayne. Come here. Come here.
That riff is so good. That could have been a Black Label riff.
She did brag about it in an interview. No.
Yeah.
What did the person do for her to send?
Honestly, babe, you need to look into some of the fucking disgusting things Sharon's done over the years.
What did that person do to her for her to want to send a bag of shite to the door though?
I'll tell you a great example of you know, Sharon being Sharon.
Nothing can kill Offie, honestly.
Yeah. Jake Ely, the young guitar player that played on Bark at the Moon, came in, wrote the entire album, recorded it, and then sorry, no, let me rephrase that. No, he had recorded it. So the album was recorded, and then before he was done, Sharon came into the studio and gave him a contract for to be in the band, and in the contract it said you have to sign away all the rights to your songs on the album. Like these songs were written by Ozzy, and he said, I don't want to sign that. Like, I don't want to sign that. She said, you'll sign it, or we'll just get someone else to come in and record all the guitar parts instead. Fucking bully.
At least with Sharon, she's got a ton of Ozzy albums.
That is true, because she makes Ozzy albums happen. Let's not pretend that Ozzy Osbourne went, oh, you know what I want to do in 2020? I want to write another album and go out on the road.
Your soul.
Let the man fucking
I
rest.
just want a wee nap.
The man's wanted a rest for
Doesn't
30
matter.
years.
She mailed a box of fresh poop. I don't know. I think it could matter. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do, but I'd like to know why.
You'd never do that.
I don't think I would. If someone really annoyed me.
You'd mail your shit to them.
Well, maybe not my shit. It'd be like a dog poo.
A dog shit.
Yeah. If someone really annoyed me.
Yeah, so there's someone commenting on Zach's developing the Black Label sound on this album. Black Label didn't exist at this point.
Okay.
This is 4 years before Black Label. So this absolutely could have been a Black Label song.
I don't like Black Label Society that much.
You fuck right off.
I don't. Especially not that album we last listened to. The one that you've made me listen to, Hunters.
But in the car today.
The white cover one.
That's the Blessed Hell Ride. Don't you dare speak ill of that
I
album.
like that one that much.
Right, can someone find me a good divorce lawyer, please?
You won't divorce me over Hollywood and Dead and Avenged Sevenfold, but that's too far.
That's a step too far. Oh, beautiful. See, there was me thinking the song was actually over there. It's halfway through.
They're long
So if I
songs.
had to make a criticism of this album, the songs are probably all a bit longer than they need to be. Hello, it's King. It's King.
Who's King?
Someone that watches my streams.
Hi, King.
I need to check in with Rick Dunsford. Rick's the man.
Rover. He's trying to play with Mikey. That's never happened.
Ozzy's vocal there.
Sorry, Rover's hyper. He's trying to play with Mikey and it just never happens.
Yeah, Mikey's like, can you leave me alone, please?
Hi, son.
There we go. There's Zach. Classic Zach. Beautiful. This song could have gone on No More Tears. That song would have fit on No More Tears. I guess I have to criticise this song for that reason. Thematically, with everything that's came before it, in terms of the guitar sound of everything, this song doesn't really fit in with all of the other songs. Seriously?
He's so excited.
Come on, come here. Let's go. It's a great song, but I don't think it really fits the theme of the album.
Don't wind them up. Don't wind my wee Wayne up.
He knows he's being watched.
Thanks, Jazz.
That's super heavy, that guitar part.
Get him.
How is my drum learning adventure going? Honestly, really good. I'm fascinated by drums. I have so much more respect for drummers than I do guitar players. It's an infinitely more complicated instrument. Infinitely more complicated instrument. The blue and green guitar. Oh, the mayonnaise.
Is that a pug? He's a jug.
He's a Jack Russell pug.
It's like a pug but uglier.
So I have that, Ross. I just don't sit it up like that all the time.
Thanks, Ross.
Ross is another local boy.
He's another what?
Local boy.
Is he?
East Kilbride.
Hmm?
East Kilbride.
East Kilbride.
I'm sure.
It's near where I
And
work.
I tend to bump into him in Studio One.
Okay.
I say tend to.
I mean,
I have bumped into
East
him.
Kilbride and Studio One are far away.
Yeah.
It's a long place to go for a haircut. That dog is not ugly. Like, we love him. But he is ugly.
He is ugly.
But he's so ugly, he's cute. Like, oh, my Wayne. You're so cute.
He's my favourite dog.
Sometimes when people see him, they get a fright, so... Thanks, Guitar is Life. That's nice.
So lots of people have been talking about this song as being, a great song. It's probably not my favourite song on the album. Rover, let's show your face off to everyone.
It's his wee teeth. He's got these two wee sticky up teeth. Look at him. Bless him. Right, son.
If you're ever concerned, ever worried on the whole theism debate thing, is there a God? Were we created? No.
Ormsby or
Minus.
mayonnaise. I was going to call it mayonnaise.
Russell, are you just asking in general? Because they're very, very different instruments. Very, very different instruments. I don't remember this song. And we've been listening to this in the car. I must skip over this one.
Yeah. Covered in dog hair.
Yeah. So, like I said, this album's like 55 minutes long, and currently I'm rating Diary of a Madman as Ozzy's best album. That album's 45 minutes long, 43 minutes long. So, what would you prefer with like the next Hollywood Undead album, right? Would you rather they released a 40-minute album where every song was excellent, or a 50-minute album where there were 2 songs on there that weren't their best, but you
40 minutes where every song's excellent. Okay. Easy. Russell says yes. That was his question.
It's a very difficult question, Russell, because they're too different. They're way too different. They don't make the same product. The Miner stuff is twice as expensive as the Ormsby stuff, and therefore you expect it to play in a very different way to the way the Ormsby stuff plays.
Bye, Wolverine.
Goodbye, Wolverine. This is Ozzy trying to do his Beatles thing. He's got a lot of songs that are kind of Beatlesy.
Have you seen the new 2020 Ibanez Beach RGs?
No, maybe. Oh yeah, I know the ones you're talking about. Yeah. It's one of those, like, regarding Ormsby versus Minus. Thanks so much. Thanks very much. My wife doesn't drink, but...
Oh. Why? What did they say?
He said, I love this series of Ozzy albums, so the birthday girl, £5 so the girl
thank
can
you.
have a birthday drink. There we go, we get some generosity for your birthday. Yeah, so on the Ormsby Miners thing, like they're honestly just very, very different guitars. I have considered buying one of like both of them in the last month or so. Because with Ormsby, you're getting a product, something something that's been designed. Whereas with the Miners stuff, you're speccing out what you want, so it's slightly different.
Thanks, Wolverine.
Okay, so this is my first time hearing this song.
Is this like a bonus track?
Yeah, these 2 are bonus tracks. No.
I mean, that's a bit...
It's a B-side.
A quick judgment, isn't it?
It's a B-side. You can hear it.
What does that mean?
So if you think back to records, when you released like a single, you'd have your A-side, which was the single, and then on the B-side would be the...
So is that like a bad thing?
No, they tend to be songs that weren't on the album, but you'd get them as B-sides on the singles, so to encourage people to buy the singles as well as the album.
Have you bought the new Ibanez guitar yet? No, he's not.
I haven't, Russell. I wasn't buying the new Ibanez guitar. Ibanez were going to send it to me, but they didn't have... I decided I want the Eric Hansel one, and they didn't have one of those in stock. So it's not that I passed. I was just really busy with stuff, and I never got back to them. I'll hit them up and see if they've got the one I want in stock. What you tend to find, babe, with B-sides is they sound like Ozzy. It sounds like an Ozzy song, of course, but the song quality is never going to be as good as the stuff on the album, because if it was, they would have just put it on the album. It sounds like... so here's a controversial one. This song is nowhere near as good as My Jekyll Doesn't Hide, but thematically it fits in with the album a little bit more. I could make the argument for replacing My Jekyll Doesn't Hide with this song, but I love My Jekyll Doesn't Hide, so... I will not be trying any 2020 Gibsons, that I can fucking assure you. Just that little scowl you gave at me there.
I'm always scowling at you.
So the final track, Amy. What's that about?
Someone called Amy.
Who's Amy?
His dog.
That's really offensive.
How?
It's his daughter.
Oh. Well, I don't know what his daughter's name was.
I told you this just yesterday.
Okay, well, I don't think it...
It's the daughter elder than...
Kelly.
Older than Kelly, yeah.
If I could write songs, I'd write songs about my dogs.
True.
And they have dogs and they like them, don't they?
Hello. See, Russell there, he said, I tried a 2020 Gibson in a music store. It was dog's balls. That's a really... I don't really know what that means, because...
The dog's bollocks is a good thing.
Exactly, but when someone says
the
it's dog's balls, it sounds terrible.
Don't know.
You know, how was your dinner? I was fucking dog's balls. That sounds terrible. How was your dinner? I was fucking the dog's bollocks. He has an older daughter, I'm sure. Sorry, I'm supposed to do this. He has an older daughter from his previous marriage. Yeah, Jessica. His eldest daughter is Jessica Starshine Osborne.
Starshine.
Yes. That was from his marriage to Thelma. There's Amy. You probably don't recognise her.
No.
But you recognise her.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like this song, but...
I wish Zakk Wylde's guitars didn't have such huge necks. They're really well made. What difference does that make?
So you've got to play with a guitar, and if the neck's too big, you don't like the way the neck feels in your hands. It's no good.
Slash is overrated.
I mean...
Were we talking about Slash?
No.
Okay.
But I'm happy for anyone to say Slash is overrated at any time.
I like Slash.
Who's Slash? Oh,
That guy
bastard,
with
you
the
do
big
know
hat.
who Slash is.
Eh?
Bastard, you do know who Slash is.
Yeah.
What's... Look at him, look.
I know he's strange.
That's where all the broken glass is.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, Amy. This will be another Ozzy Osbourne trying to be in the Beatles. There's no class there, Hayley.
There's no pasta.
Could someone clip that? There's no glass there, Hayley. There's no pasta.
Don't have the best hearing.
Not the best vocal.
Does the dog like the album?
They can't hear the album.
Yeah. But also, like, which dog? Probably all have different feelings about it.
Mattia Mancuso is a great player. I've done a bunch of transcriptions of his, Alex. I did a live stream transcribing his stuff. There is no pasta.
Probably isn't. It's all been panic
There
bought.
is. There's 2 things of pasta in the house.
Okay.
Imagine writing a song, right, for your daughter, and it feels like what he's doing here is it's an apology.
How cringy must it be for your dad to write a song about you? Like,
probably not at all when your dad's fucking Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness. I just think that, like, imagine your dad wrote a song for you, and then at a later point decided that's probably not good enough for the album. Yeah. Especially when Jack got a song on the album.
I just think it would be a bit... I think I'd be a bit embarrassed if my dad started writing songs about me.
Leon, how's it going, man? I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Leon, are you on Skype at the moment?
If my dad wrote a song about me when I was younger, it'd probably be about light bulb jails and leaving the light on.
Killed it. Classic Zach. Well, that's no good, Leon. I wanted to bring you on so my wife could hear your voice.
Why, is he Irish?
Yeah.
I could tell from the pre-Patrick Days beers.
Oh, Leon has the best voice.
Does he sound like Connor?
Oh, he sounds so much better than Connor.
Oh, Connor's got a lovely accent.
Yeah, Ian makes a good point there. I hope you mean the song. The song is definitely... The guitar solo obviously was, as Zach wild as it gets. But you're probably looking at it going, rap, like, is someone horny?
No.
No.
What's Randy's second name? What do you mean, fucking Connor? Does he know Connor?
Don't think he knows Connor.
Connor has a beautiful
Connor
voice.
also has a great, beautiful Irish
My mum
accent.
fancies Connor because she likes his voice that much.
Everyone's mum fancies Connor.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's mum would fancy Leon as well.
Probably. What's Randy's second name? Who's he talking about? Randy who?
Rhodes.
Randy Rhodes.
Ozzy's first guitarist. And there we have it, Osmosis, the expanded edition. Usually I don't like to listen to the bonus tracks, but it's because I've heard the bonus tracks before, But in this instance, I went with them because I've never heard them before. Amy, the song was all right. Whole World's Fallen Down. Thematically, it kind of fit in with the rest of the album, but I don't think it was as strong a song. Right, what do you think about the album then?
I liked. There was only a couple of songs that I don't think I would sit and listen to that myself. Like, from all the Ozzy albums you've made me listen to, I liked it. Like, there was a few songs that I really liked, but I don't think if you let me choose which Ozzy album I would want to listen to by myself, I don't think I'd choose that one.
I mean, I can disprove that.
Why?
Which one would you choose?
I don't know, one of the other ones. I feel like maybe it's because it's just ended in a slow song. It's made me think it's a bit too slow for me.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not as upbeat as some of the earlier Ozzy albums. I'll put a couple of tracks on for us to hear after we've listened to this. The album before this is definitely a lot more upbeat.
Well, that's my type of music. I like more upbeat stuff. So.
Down to Earth will be the next one, Justice. I'll do that on Wednesday night because that's fun. Because apparently I need to do 3 of them a week. No, you're not a diehard Ozzy fan, are you?
No, I'm not.
No.
Sum 41. It's my type of music. Come on.
You're not.
I'm not. I really like Sum 41.
My wife's soundtrack in her life could be described as the American Pie soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's basically where you should learn about all that music.
I have branched out a wee bit. Like, I like a wee bit of White Snake, and that's about it.
Van Halen?
I like Van Halen.
You like Van Halen? You like Aerosmith?
I do like Aerosmith. I like Bon Jovi.
You like Bon Jovi? You like your stadium rock stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Def Leppard. All of those. Yeah.
And Sum 41.
Journey. Toto. Yeah. Probably not Toto.
Not Toto.
So my thoughts on the album. I love it. I just love this album. I don't want to say it's Ozzy's best album, but it is probably my favourite Ozzy album. I think the songs on it that are great are good enough that they matter.
Great.
Perry Mason is great. I Just Want You is great. Ghost Behind My Eyes is great. See You on the Other Side is great. Tomorrow is great. Denial is great. My Jekyll Doesn't Hide is great. My Little Man is nice. I'm glad it exists, like as an artifact, as a song to Jack, and also for the Steve Vai connection. Old LA Tonight I'm not crazy on, and I thought that Thunder Underground was a little bit weak. But it has a nice chorus in it. But yeah, to be able to look at an album like that, Perry Mason, I Just Want You, Ghost Behind My Eyes, See You on the Other Side, Tomorrow, Denial, and My Jekyll Doesn't Hide. That's 8 excellent songs. And when I look at Diary of a Madman, which I would say is Ozzy's best album, like objective best album, that has 8 great songs on it. I mean, there's only 8 songs on the album. All of them are great. this has just as many good songs as Diary of a Madman. It's just, of course, there was obviously the talk about Soundgarden. Like it doesn't sound like No More Tears Ozzy. It doesn't sound like No Rest for the Wicked Ozzy. It doesn't sound like early Ozzy. It's Ozzy doing a new sound. It's Ozzy doing it's grunge. It sounds like Soundgarden. But if you're up for something a little bit different, I think this is a great place to do it, because I think vocally this is Ozzy's best album. I think his vocal performance on this album is fantastic.
Justice says there was no bad song on that album.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that, actually. Like, while I'm saying, Thunder Underground wasn't my favourite song on the album, it's not a bad song. Old LA Tonight isn't a bad song. In fact, I'd go as far as saying Old LA Tonight is a really good song. It's just, when I listen to an Ozzy album, I want the rock songs, not the piano ballads. There was a great guitar solo on it. Or was that on Amy? No, sorry, Amy had the great guitar solo. That was another piano ballad with a great guitar solo. There was a good solo on Old LA Tonight, though. So, yeah, I think, honestly, vocally, this album for Ozzy is just... I don't think it gets better than this. I do not think it gets better than this. His vocal performance is fantastic. The vocal arrangements are really nice. There's a lot of the vocal harmonies that add so much depth to the album. And if you go back, No More Tears, there's a lot of vocal harmonies, but they're more like the backing band doing vocal harmonies. On the album before that, there's a lot of backing vocals, but there's someone else doing the harmony vocals on that, and they sound cheesy and not Ozzy. This one, Ozzy's really nailed it, and there's a lot more vocal harmony on this than there was on any of his previous albums. So, yep, I really like this. I'm not going to pretend it's my favourite tone, but I respect the fact that it's consistent. That they've all got all the effects on the guitar to make it sound all. I'll do it in layman speak for you.
Oh, thanks.
It all sounds underwater.
Yeah.
It's like gurgly sounding guitars, washy sounding guitars, but at least it's consistent. I think a sound like that can be really off-putting if it's one song. Like, out of the blue, you have like, why does the guitar sound all gurgly all of a sudden? But all of the guitars sounds like that. So it's consistent. I also don't think that you'd go to this album if you're looking for an example of Ozzy's best guitar playing. When I say Ozzy's guitar playing, obviously he doesn't play guitar, but you know what I mean. Like, if you're looking for an Ozzy Osbourne album with great guitar playing on it, this album isn't that. You would go to No More Tears, you would go to No Rest for the Wicked if you want like some of his best guitar playing on albums. But in terms of just songs and consistency, this is excellent. This really is excellent. I don't know if it's objectively better than Diary of a Madman. Like, if, let's say you come to me and you're like, Levi, I really want to get into Ozzy Osbourne. What should I listen to? What's his best album?
But then it depends on what that person listens to in an album.
Yeah. True.
Like, I listen to Voices, so this probably would be the one that you would point me to.
But Diary, his voice is good on that too. Really good on that. But yeah, this is just the production's not too bad, and this is my favourite. I like the songs on this a little bit more, I think. But I think, okay, let me put it another way. In terms of historical importance, Diary of a Madman is much more important than this album. But this is a good album, and I hate that people just write this off as, oh, it's that fucking 90s Ozzy album. It's a good album. It is a good album. Now, of course, after this, we're going to have to go on to Down to Earth, which is Ozzy's next album.
Have you already listened to the Ordinary Man one?
Yes, that was the first listening stream, live stream.
Are you doing it backwards?
No, I did the first one. I did Ordinary Man.
Okay.
Just because it came out, like I listened to it the day it came out. Like, I had my first ever listen to it was on a stream, and people enjoyed it. So I thought, well, fuck it, why don't I do all of the albums?
And did you go back to the beginning?
Went back to the beginning of working forward. So we did Osmosis, and next up we'll be doing Down to Earth, which has some good songs on it. People give that album a lot of shit. I don't think it's his best album. It's one of his weaker albums, but there are a couple of moments on it that are pretty damn good.
Have I listened to all of them?
Have you listened to all of Ozzy's albums?
Made me listen to? I know you've made me listen to No More Tears.
No, I've made you listen to Blizzard of Oz.
Okay. What's one with No More Boobies in it?
That's Blizzard of Oz.
Okay.
No Bone Movies. That actually is about porn.
Is it? Then does it say No More Boobies?
No, it's no Bone Movies.
No Bone Movies.
But that's because Randy called porn films Bone Movies.
Okay.
So it's about porn addiction.
I think I like that one.
Well, the album.
Yeah, I think I like that album.
Diary of a Madman. It's got Flying High again.
I like that song.
I know you like that. Bark at the Moon we've had on in the car.
Okay.
You've not listened to The Ultimate Sin. Not listened to Tribute. That's a live album. No Rest for the Wicked you've not listened to. No More Tears you've probably not listened to.
I feel like you have maybe listened to that one.
You may have done. It's a live album. And then Osmosis you've definitely listened to. Down to Earth you've not listened to. Undercover I've not listened to. Black Rain you've not listened to. Scream you've not listened to. And Ordinary Man you've not listened to.
I've listened to some of the Ordinary Man songs, haven't I? But I think I'd like that.
What, the latest Ozzy
Did you
album?
not say that? That's probably something I'd quite like.
No, we listened to, was it Straight to Hell? I'll make you defecate.
Oh my god, yeah. That was so funny.
That was awful. Yeah, not crazy. So, not crazy on that album at all. So, yeah, I will be back, guys, on Wednesday to do the Down to Earth stream. One more time, thank you so much. Thank you to my beautiful wife for joining me on this. Thank you for putting up with her. I hope you could...
Excuse me? Thank you for putting up with her.
Well, yeah, they might have tuned in and was
yeah.
like... Well, they might have tuned in and gone, wow, I listened to Levi, and then gone, who's this fucking redhead lunatic?
I think I made it better.
Me too. I just hope that everyone agrees with me on that. And thank you for wishing her a happy birthday. Yeah, it means a lot. You sure you don't want to know what you've got for your birthday tomorrow?
Absolutely not. I like a surprise.
I bet you'll burst into tears on stream.
No, thank you. You record me crying at everything else anyway, so...
I could play some of those clips.
No, I'd rather you didn't.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to do the usual routine now. Big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. You make streams like this happen, so thank you very much. And if you would like to check me out on Patreon, there is a link in the description. The more Patreon support I get this month, the better a birthday present she gets. So it actually doesn't work that way, but yeah, so check me out on Patreon. If you don't want to do that, that is absolutely fine too. You can also head on over to Amazon, have a look for one of my books, search for Levi Clay. I've written quite a few of them. You say Country Guitar for Beginners is your favourite?
Yes.
That is a good book.
I thought so. I learned a lot.
How's my... That's awful. That sounds like you're shilling now.
I'm sorry. I didn't read it.
That was my first book though, so...
I just like the picture on the front of it.
Yeah. You didn't buy me that guitar, did you?
It brings it up all the time. I wish I did.
Yeah, I know. Oh, shit. There you're back. Sergeant Rock just sent us a super chat, $4.99. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that.
Petition for Mrs. Clean all the videos. Yay! Sorry, I've got a job. Can't.
So do I.
Well, got a full-time job. I have to leave the house for my job.
Yeah, good point. Fair enough. But this could be a full-time job for you. Imagine just coming on and streaming.
No, I like my job.
Talking bollocks on camera all day.
Yeah. I get bored.
You could just eat cake on camera.
I think that's...
There's a market for that.
Yeah, but
there's a market for that. People like that.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Most of my favourite people on YouTube are people that just eat cake.
No, thanks.
Just watch people eating cake all day.
No, I'm okay.
No. Okay.
But thanks.
Other books, Tab or Music Justice. All of my books are Tab. There's Tab in all of my books. Yeah, Tab in every one of my books, of course. I wanted to reach around and grab one, but I don't have any to hand. They're all in the house. So, right, should we take the dogs out?
Does he say bum or burn?
It says... It looks like it says bum.
Okay.
But I think it could also say burn.
It's burn. Sorry, I've got
It's
my
burn.
glasses on.
You burned me. I actually couldn't see that. It's still, still looks like bum to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I will be back on Wednesday. I'll be uploading the video. Probably not tomorrow because it's her birthday. But yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday. I'll upload a video on Wednesday, maybe. I've got a lot of work, a lot of projects to get on with. So, I'll do my best. Try my hardest. Trying to drive myself into an early grave.
No.
You said burn again.
Burn. Still looks like bum, but
Still
thank
looks
you.
like bum. Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification.
If you write it enough times, maybe it'll It's going to slowly spell it out. Now everyone's saying bum.
It's still bum.
She burnt me on having a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to leave the house.
I make more money than you.
I do alright.
You do alright.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Much love, guys. And I will see you for another stream soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Keep waving.